Welcome to Whitewater, everybody. My name's Rabbit. I'm going to be one of the guides on today's trip. And today we're going to be flowing down the Colorado River. It's that guy right there. We're going to go up the canyon about 10 miles up, and we're going to be floating all the way back down to here, most of us. And usually we have some nice beautiful rafts right behind us, but they're all tucked away over there. So when you walk by your bus, you'll be able to inspect them and see that they're nice, big, beautiful rafts. And the way we're getting down these rafts today is our weapon of choice is a paddle. And it's very important that we use these properly. So hopefully we've all used this sometime at summer camp or out on the lake with Granddad or something. But this is a paddle. You want to keep your hands on top of this T-grip right here at all times. It's very important. You can see all the teeth marks from little brothers, ex-husbands who let go of their T-grip and hit their partner across from them and rearrange their smile. So we don't want that happening, all right? Just keep your hand on top of that T-grip at all times. Then you want to get a good strong grip here, about a little wider than shoulder width apart. Then you get good strong paddle strokes, all right? You don't want to be choked up here because you look funny and I will make fun of you, okay? So get a good strong grip, and your guide will be calling 3 commands today. Your first and most common one is going to be your forward paddle. Typical canoeing motion. Put the blade in front of you, push the water behind you. Forward paddle. Next is going to be your backward paddle. So it'll say all back, and then you put the blade behind you. And I like to put the shaft either on my hip or up on my jacket and crank the water in front of you. And that's your backward paddle there, okay? And the next one is the toughest one of all, and it's all stop. You just rest it right here on your lap, because I'm sure a bunch of y'all are going to be super excited. It's going to go after the water. But if your guide does call stop, stop, so we're not doing all kinds of squirrely stuff while we're going down the river, okay? So next, you're probably wondering what happens if you fall out of the raft. Well, today we're going down a section of Class 3 rapids, and for our stretch of river right now, it's some of the funnest, but also some of the safest rafting that we can do right now, okay? So odds of you falling out are slim, however, it has happened in the past, so it's going to be fun out there. But if you do end up out of the water, try and hang on to your paddle. It'll work as a good go-go gadget extension, and someone will grab it, and then they can pull you to the raft that much faster, okay? And if you end up further away from the raft, we want you to do what is called the whitewater safety float position. You're not swimming freely in the water. You're going to be floating, okay? So the river's going that way. You want to have your feet and you're facing downriver, okay? So as a guide, I want to be able to see your nose and toes up above the water. So basically, you're going to be looking like you're sitting in a lazy boy, all right? So your noses are up, I know you're breathing, your toes are up. You can block off any of the sharks or rocks or alligators that are in the river today. So you don't want to be turned around looking this way, because then you can't see anything coming at you, and then you'll just get bulldozed over by rocks and logs. So your guide, if you do end up in the water, will always point you to safety, okay? And to get someone back into the raft, we have what is called a chicken line running around the perimeter of the raft and across each seat. So hopefully before you fell into the water, you're trying to grab onto that chicken line and keep yourself in the raft. It's called falling into the boat, not out the boat, okay? But if you're in the water, you're going to grab onto that chicken line right there, and someone is going to not be your guide. They're not going to pull you back in. They have to control the rest of the raft. But someone hopefully loves you enough to get you back in the raft. And you're going to get the bends of your elbows right underneath their armpits. You're going to give them a good dunk underwater. The buoyancy of your life jacket's going to push them back up. You're going to be pulling them, and hopefully they want to get back in the water. They're going to kick their feet as hard as they can and help you get back in. If they're like a dead fish, it's going to be really hard. So hopefully you kick your legs as hard as you can and get back in the boat as soon as possible, all right? If you do end up out of the boat, there's something called foot entrapment. So let's say this is like a rock or a log in the river, and you stand up and the water's about this high. You walk up, kick that rock or log, and it shifted and it just crushed your foot. Now you're stuck in the water, and that current's not going to stop. It's going to keep pushing you, it's pushing you, it's pushing you over until you're underwater, or hopefully your leg breaks and then you float out. But to avoid that, Swim all the way to shore until your chest touches bottom, and then stand up, and the water will be right there, and there will be no fear of foot entrapment, okay? Do you have any questions, concerns? Good. I didn't have any answers for you anyway. So I'm gonna go get our office princess. They're gonna come out here, tell you who your guide's gonna be. We're gonna walk back to those buses, load on up, and head into the canyon. Woo! All right, so when the office princess comes back, you'll need to be like 10 times louder. I need jazz hands to wave. Can you do that? Yeah.
Who's excited to go rafting?
Yeah!